Ja, können sicher wieder zum Liebesgeschenk sonst. Aber ja, wir lassen mal okay. That's what you want. Jayarata Madhava Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopichana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopichana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopichana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopichana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Chachanaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Chayoratha Madhava Kunja Vihari Chayoratha Madhava Kunja Vihari Chayoratha Madhava Kunja Vihari Chayoratha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Hariraj Acharya Sutra Satashamadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Grantaraj Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Jai Go Premanande Glorious to the assembled devotees All glorious to the assembled devotees All glorious to the assembled devotees All glorious to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga All glorious to Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda.
So reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 40 till 43, and the chapter is entitled "The Process of Devotional Service," and the present shloka is actually very well-known, famous shlokas. It describes Krishna's very special characteristic, in a sense that other devatas, if you ask something, they just give what you want. But if you ask Krishna, he will give what you need. Maybe not exactly what you asked for, but Krishna will give you what is beneficial for your devotional service. And that's the very specific characteristic of Krishna. So, and these shlokas 36 to 42 describes Krishna's response to bhakti with material desire. Like if someone approaches Krishna with material desires, which most probably is most of us, right? We try to perform bhakti, but still we have some material desires. So then how is Krishna responding to this kind of bhakti? And that's described in these shlokas till 42. And then 43, a new topic starts about how by the mercy of the Vaishnavas we attain bhakti. We come in contact with Krishna through, like a Bhagavan Shiva, a very fortunate soul comes in touch with bhakti through a devotee. So let's see how far we go, but we will read these 4 shlokas and then we try to understand Krishna's special characteristic a bit better. So first text 40. I'll just read and then we can chant together this one. Satyam tishatyartitam artito nrinam naivartato yat punar artita yata svayam vidhate bachatam anchichatam icha pidanam nichapada pallavam. Translation. Whenever Krishna is requested to fulfill one's desire, he undoubtedly does so. But he does not award anything which, after being enjoyed, will cause one to petition him again and again to fulfill further desires. When one has other desires but engages in Lord's service, Krishna forcibly gives one shelter at his lotus feet, where one will forget all other desires. You may have so many desires, but when you actually take shelter of Krishna, you forget about them. Is this something good? We're not so sure about it. Yeah, theoretically it's good, but maybe emotionally, but I still want this also. There's just a purport says, this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 5:19-27. In the 5th, and if you go to this shloka, then there will be purport gives a reference to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyam 22:40. But yeah, the point is that, as we heard in the previous shlokas, that Krishna basically says, those who approach me with material desires, they are murkha. They're actually foolish. And Krishna says, but I'm not foolish. I'm very intelligent. No, I'm an intelligent person. So okay, they are foolish and asking for some foolish things. But since I'm intelligent, why should I give them their stupid, foolish material desires? But I will give them my lotus feet. I will give them the nectar from devotional service. So that this is Krishna's plan. This is Krishna's. Okay, we read next text. Kama lagi Krishna bhaje, vaya Krishna rase, jama chadi dhase hoite, haya abilase. When someone engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service, for the satisfaction of the senses and instead acquires a taste for serving Krishna, he gives up his material desires and willingly offers himself as an eternal servant of Krishna. So when one starts to serve, then originally maybe with kama, with desire for oneself, but then in the process of devotional service we develop a higher taste. And then, okay, we start to identify ourselves more and more as a Sevak Dasa. I'm Krishna Dasa. And that's very crucial because according to my identification, I will have desire, right? If I'm a man, I need a woman. If I'm a woman, I need children, or other man. Like this is very natural. I identify with my body, with my identification, and naturally I will have desires in that direction. But if I deeply identify myself as a servant of Krishna, then I want to serve Krishna. That's the main point then. Of course, I may have other desires as well, but the more I identify as servant of Krishna, the more I just want to serve him. And then there is an example, Dhruva Maharaj from the Hari Bhakti Shuddhaya. Stanha pilasi tapasi shitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guyam kacham vichinam apidivya ratnam swamin kritartosmi savatvaram nayache. When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of God, Dhruva Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penances and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." That's a famous shloka. And it's not from the Bhagavatam. Sometimes we study the story of Dhruva and then we wonder, where is this shloka? Oh, there is this famous shloka, but I don't find it. It's from Hari Bhakti Shuddhaya. And it describes the mentality of Dhruva when he finally attained the Lord. Because he was very eager to get the Lord, but his desire was to get this great kingdom, to revenge. But when he actually got the Lord, he realized my material desire was completely nonsense. And he gives this beautiful example, like, I was searching for a piece of glass, but now I found a jewel. And that's basically what we are also doing. We are so eager for pieces of glass all the time. We're looking around. Where is my piece of glass? I want some broken glass. And we don't realize that actually we could have a jewel. That's our unfortunate condition. I think we'll stop here and we'll see whether, because this shloka is a different topic. If it's okay, and then we because time is short, and then if we have more time, we still can chant this mantra and go to the next topic, and the next speaker can take it up. Om Jnanatimidandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Papanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so let's try to understand this Krishna's nature, that he is, in one sense, Krishna is willing to fulfill all desires, but actually, if someone sincerely approaches him, Krishna will cheat us no, in a nice way. Because we know Krishna is known as a cheater, so he will cheat us also nicely. But let's first understand that Krishna can fulfill all desires. It's not that he cannot. It also says in the Harinam Chintamani, there is this explanation of the holy name. Krishna Nam Chintamani Anadi Chinmaya Ye Krishna Sei Nama Ei Tattva Bhaya. So Krishna's name is Chintamani, a desire fulfilling tree. The name will give you everything, whatever desire you have. So that's the first thing. The holy name is like Chintamani, is like a touchstone. It can give everything we want. That's quite amazing, isn't it? Like, we may have so many desires, and just by chanting the holy name, everything can be fulfilled. So if we want to have material enjoyment, Krishna can also give that. Maybe we can keep the question for the end. I will just make a few points and then you can write it down also. This is from a lecture of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He says, if you desire stool, Krishna will give you stool. It's like, this is a little a gross example. What is stool means material desire. Because, in a human form of life, we can get Krishna Prem, we can get this ultimate goal in life. And we are not meant, like, in any form of life, we can get sense gratification, right? As a hawk, dog, any animal, we can get sense gratification. Like eating, sleeping, mating and defending, that's taking place everywhere. But in a human form of life, we can get the highest, which is Krishna Prem. So if we got a human form of life, we even took to Krishna consciousness, we approach Krishna and we still ask for material desires, then that's like we're asking for stool. But if we want, Krishna is giving it to us. But actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Na Kavitam Chakiti Shakanaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavat Bhakti Rahitukitvahi, that we should not desire for anything else. Why should we not desire for anything else? Because the holy name fulfills the desire, but if we don't have desire, what is the holy name giving us? Krishna Prem. No? The holy name is ready to give us Krishna Prem, but because we have so many other desires, then the holy name, okay, then we fulfill this desire. But if we let go all the other desires and just focus on Krishna and want to have the relationship with him, then the holy name will give that. So it's up to us what we desire. And the example is given, like if you have a mango tree, what is the ultimate fruit that the mango tree wants to give? It's a mango, right? the mango tree wants to give you a mango. That's the ultimate. But sometimes we lay down under the tree and we lean against the tree, so we have a nice chair and we enjoy the shadow. And then we're satisfied with that. But actually the benefit would be the fruit, the mango. So similarly, we take to the holy name and material desires are fulfilled, but the actual desire, the actual fruit that the holy name wants to give, which is prem, we're not getting, because we don't have a strong desire. So that's one thing, that Krishna, yes, can give everything, but Krishna has something he really wants to give us, and that's is himself. He wants to give himself, he wants to give that love. So therefore, a true devotee, he understands, I don't want anything. I just want to be a servant of Krishna. And this is beautifully described also in the exchange between Lord Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. And after the whole story ends, happy end, Hiranyakashipu is killed. Prahlad Maharaj finally could pacify Nrsimhadev, and he, and Nrsimhadev is ready to give blessings. So then, what is Prahlad Maharaj saying? He says, why do you ask me for blessings? please don't tempt me with these material desires. He says, you are so kind to your devotee, that's 7.10.4. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.10.4. You are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. So basically, Prahlad Maharaj says, why are you asking me for benefits, some benediction? No, we are not. It is not a business that's going on between you and me. No, I worship you and then I get some benefit. We don't have a relationship as a businessman, a business partner. And in text 6, Prahlad Maharaj says, Aham ta akamastam abhaktas tvam cha svayam anapashraya. O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being any other than master and servant. You are naturally my master and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. You are my master, I am your servant, and that's our relationship, and there is no need for anything else. No need for business. And a servant is serving without expecting anything in return. So no need that you give me any benediction. I just want to serve you because I love you and because we have a loving relationship. And that service in itself, gives the greatest pleasure, the greatest satisfaction. Prabhupada explains in the purport, Jiva Swaruphoy Krishna Nitya Das, that every living entity is an eternal servant of Krishna. And Krishna explains that he is the Bhoktaram Yagatapasyam, he is the proprietor, he is the controller, he is the enjoyer. So if we understand that relationship, he is the enjoyer and we are his servant, then we are peaceful and we are happy. But the problem starts when we think that, well, I need to be the enjoyer myself and I need to be the controller and the master. Then the problem starts. So that's why Krishna is very happy if the devotees approach him without any other desire. Now, if we perform pure devotional service, Krishna is very pleased. So, but now what happened, as we said in the beginning, most probably, most of us, we may still have some material desire, right? So when we approach Krishna, well, as I said, theoretically we know Krishna is that's the only beneficial. But then emotionally, we may have so many attachments, like, I still would like this direction, that direction. So then, what is Krishna is doing with us? He's nicely cheating us. He's also known as a chor, no? He's known as a thief. There is this prayer by Bilvamangala Thakur. The prayer I offer pranam to that foremost thief, who is famous in Braj as the butter thief, and who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have occurred over many lifetimes. So Hari means the one who takes away, right? So he takes away the clothing of the gopis because he wants to see their naked beauty. He steals the butter because he wants to taste the bhakti, the love of the different gopis in the different houses. And he also steals away the mind and the heart of his devotees. And he also steals away the sinful activities that we have accumulated. So that's a nice stealing, no? I offer pranam to the foremost of thieves who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark lustre of fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and suffering of those who take shelter of his feet. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering homeless beggars. So now it becomes a little more intense. Krishna turns his devotees into beggars. Those who are especially devoted to him, he makes them lose everything. Aho, such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard in this three world. Mere utterance of his name purges one of the mountain of sins. Such astonishing, wonderful thief. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, my everything, where can you run? No. So that's what Krishna is doing. He takes away our wealth, our honor, our senses, our life. Krishna can take away everything. And then here in this prayer it says, I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. No, you're a thief, that's why I will catch you. And then he says, you can cut the rope of Yamaraj, you can cut the rope of the material existence, you can slash everyone's material bondage, but you're not able to cut the rope of my love. No. I have bound you up with the rope of my love, and you cannot cut it. Because my bhakti, my devotion is greater than your power to cut the ropes. And I have now put you in the dark prison of my heart. No, my heart is full of ignorance. That's why it's dark. It's a dark place because it's ignorance. But I have put you there. I have put you there into my heart, and I've bound you up with my love, because you're a thief, and that's why I will not let you go. This is the proper punishment for such a thief. So it's a nice prayer. Or as Prabhupada says, Krishna is famous as a great thief, but still people go to the temple and want to see, such a nice thief, such a nice Makanchor. No. And then Prabhupada says that's the difference between Krishna and ourselves. If we become thief, then people will come and beat us with shoes. But if Krishna is a thief, people will go and worship him. Such a nice thief. That's the difference between us and Krishna. So Krishna is a thief, and as I said, he's taking away our material desires also. We approach him and we have some material desires, but then Krishna, he tricks us, as described in these shlokas. And one thing is said that, and even if sometimes we are very stubborn, right? We understand, actually, because Krishna is communicating to us. Krishna tells us, you see, for you it is better if you go in this direction. You shouldn't go in that direction. But then sometimes we are very stubborn. Krishna, yeah, I know it would be better, but I want this. Then Krishna says, okay, you can have it. But then he will give it us in such a way that afterwards we regret. Oh, Krishna, why? I never want this desire anymore. No, I will not. I don't want this anymore. That's Krishna's special characteristic. He will fulfill our if we're not able to listen, he will fulfill our material desires, but he will fulfill it in such a way that afterwards we learn a lesson. That's usually how Krishna is doing it. There is one story. It's related to Shiva, but anyhow it still fits into the topic. Let me see what it is. There was one king. His name was King Midha, I think. And here it is, King Midhas. So he was very greedy, and he worshipped Lord Shiva, that he can get some special boon. So then he thought, because I want to enjoy, I need a lot of wealth, so I will ask for a boon that whatever I touch will turn into gold. And then I will be super rich. Now imagine, anything you touch becomes gold. It's amazing. So he worshipped Shiva. Shiva appeared. Okay, so be it. He gave the blessings. Then he went home. He touched his house, the walls of the house. Bing, like magic. He had a golden palace. It's like, wow, it works. Amazing. So he went into his house, he touched all kind of items, ping, everything turned into gold. So he had golden table, golden chair, golden pots. It's like, wow, this is amazing. He was so happy, so excited. And then his wife called for lunch. It was time for prasadam. And then, served some, nice feast. So he touched the chapati, boom, chapati turned into gold. What is this? And then his little daughter came, and puppy, and the daughter came and embraced him, and he touched the little daughter on the head. Boom, the daughter turned into golden statue. and then he didn't do like that. But then he really regretted, and then he prayed to Lord Shiva to, take this spoon away and get it back to normal. Anyway, that's a story. But Krishna is similar in the sense that if we have material desire, he will fulfill the desire, but he will make it in such a way that afterwards we realize, okay, maybe it was not such a good idea. So that's one aspect of his mercy. And of course, another lesson that we can take from this is maybe we should better not be so stubborn, right? Maybe we should better try to understand what is actually Krishna's plan, what is my destiny, and then we should try to go along with that instead of rebelling against it, right? Because we all have a certain, a dharma, swadharma, some personal path that you're supposed to go. And sometimes we kind of have a different plan and we think we know better. But the Shastra says if it becomes obvious that you're meant to do something and you're not embrace it, then you will only suffer. At the moment I'm just studying in a fourth canto, Bhagavatam, the story of Prithu. Prithu Maharaj is, we study also in the morning classes, but in the 19th chapter we heard how Prithu Maharaj was doing his 100 Ashvamedha Yagya, right? He performed that Yagya. And because Indra became envious, he was worried that Prithu becomes more prominent than him, performing 100 Ashvamedha, so he stole the horse, right? He stole the horse several times. And what happened at some point? When they wanted to kill Brahmana, when they wanted to kill Indra, the priests want to kill Indra, then Lord Brahma appeared, and Lord Brahma basically said, wait, stop, you can't kill Indra, and better just let it be. Let it be 99 Ashvamedha Yagyas, and don't go for more. And here it says, my dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifice have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. I find it very interesting, shloka. If something happened by providence, and it's very obvious that this is meant to be, if we then, try to rectify the situation, do it differently, we will only suffer. We need to learn to just accept things. Okay, this is Krishna's will, I surrender. And that's what surrender also means. Surrender means that I accept Krishna's plan that he has for me. Vishnava Chakravarti says, certainly the mind of the person who meditates on doing what is destroyed by fate enters into the deepest illusion. He does not attain peace. I read that again. certainly the mind of the person who meditates on doing what is destroyed by fate. Like, no, fate has destroyed something. No, we have a plan. I want this. And then fate has destroyed it. It doesn't work. If I enter with my mind, oh, I still want it, I want it, we cannot attain peace. That's why it said we should have goals of stone and plans of sand. Right? We have a certain goal. Okay, I want to attain Krishna Prem. That can be in stone. No, I want to attain Krishna. That's a good goal. I want to attain Krishna. That can be in stone. But how to achieve that goal, that should be in sand. Like, okay, the goal is in stone. It's a metaphor. The goal is in stone, but the path going there can be in sand. Sand, like on the beach. Yeah. Why sand? Because sand is flexible, right? Stone is fixed. So our goal can be fixed, but how to achieve that goal should be flexible. Because Krishna knows better. No, we may have so many ideas how to do things, but then we should be flexible about what Krishna's plan is. Another example we find in the story of Chitraketu. Like, just Prithu Maharaj was a very good example because he accepted, he accepted the advice of Lord Brahma, and he just gave up his ambition. And it's quite amazing because he was very ambitious. He really wanted to have this 100 sacrifice because he was the king of the whole planet, and to have completed 100 Ashwamedha sacrifice, really establishes you as the emperor. That's what you have to do it. So he was very ambitious to attain that goal, but when Lord Brahma, his senior, told him, just leave it like that, it's okay, he accepted. He said, okay, I embrace it, I accept it. And that's very, very glorious, actually. Because usually we the false ego very much, no, but I want. And I'm sure we all have made this experience, right? We want to do something. This afternoon I will do this, and then something happened and we cannot do it. And we become very disturbed. I want to do this now. Usually we are not so flexible usually. So another example of a person who accepts his destiny was Chitraketu. We know the story. Chitraketu, he had a transcendental Sankirtan party, with Vimana, a nice airplane, and it's described many girls were there, singing, dancing, kirtan going on, and the king was there, Chitraketu. And then they were flying over, and then they saw there was a gathering of sages, and it happened to be Lord Shiva there. Lord Shiva talking to, and all the great personalities were assembled, even Lord Brahma and Narada Muni and all the great sages and rishis. And Shiva was sitting there, but on his lap he had his wife Parvati. It's a bit unusual. Imagine I have a girl on my lap giving class here. Of course, I'm also. Shiva, he was married and it was his wife, so it's okay. But still, it's a bit unusual, no? If you're the speaker. And Chitraketu, he was like laughing. He was like, "What is this?" Shiva, the greatest yogi, and he is embracing his wife, speaking katha. So. And Shiva saw it, and all the others saw it, but they didn't pay much attention to it. But Parvati became very angry. She became very angry. Shiva, how do you dare to laugh at my husband? He's the greatest yogi, greatest personality. How can you doubt his greatness? And Parvati, on the spot, cursed Chitraketu. Your mentality is like the one of a demon. So you become a demon in your next life. And we know he became Vritasura. So how did Chitraketu react? How would you react if someone curses you? Jai! No, usually the way we react is like, oh, wait a minute. We have to clarify this, And then we start to argue, and no, that's you misunderstood. That's not how it was, and we argue. The false ego immediately wants to protect ourselves. We want to protect. And actually, Chitraketu was quite powerful. He could have also counter curse. He could have cursed Parvati also. But what did he do? He stepped down from his airplane, bowed down to Parvati, touched her feet, folded his hand, and showed respect to Parvati, without any sign of being disturbed whatsoever. So what does it mean? Chitraketu completely accepted his destiny, and that's amazing. And so it's so amazing that even Lord Shiva glorifies Chitraketu afterwards. Shiva talks to his wife. He says, Parvati, you're the most beautiful woman. No? Your beauty has you cannot compare this beauty in this world. Parvati is also Maya. She's extremely beautiful. But then Shiva says, but Chitraketu's beauty is even more beautiful than your beauty. The beauty of his character is more beautiful than your beauty. And Prabhupada paraphrases Lord Shiva, says, just see, although you cursed the king, he was not at all afraid or sorry. Rather, he offered respect to you, called you mother, and accepted your curse, thinking himself faulty. He did not say anything in retaliation. This is the excellence of a devotee. By mildly tolerating your impartiality by mildly tolerating your curse, he has certainly excelled the glory of your beauty and your power to curse him. I can impartially judge that this devotee Chitraketu has defeated you and your excellence simply by becoming a pure devotee. Quite powerful glorification. No, here we have Durga, and she curses someone. I mean, if you're cursed by Durga, you're finished, okay? if you're cursed by Durga, that's the end. But here Shiva says, by your tolerance, you have defeated her curse. Because what is the power of the curse if the person is completely unaffected by it? Right? Then the curse doesn't have a meaning. Because you curse someone to make the person miserable. But the person is completely equiposed, then the curse has no meaning. So basically Shiva says that your power of cursing and your beauty both have been defeated by Chitraketu. Because he is more powerful by tolerance and he is more beautiful by tolerance. And in this way Chitraketu was glorified. So what does it mean? It means that we should accept our destiny. And we should be happy with it, and we should embrace it. And we should not be too stubborn and always try to go against what is meant for us to happen. And if things happen in our life that we don't like so much, things that go against our plan, we should learn to tolerate. And the thing is, when we speak of tolerating means, okay, I don't like it, but I tolerate it. No? But in that kind of tolerance, inside we are unhappy, right? But acceptance is different. If we actually accept, then there is peace in the heart. It's not that Yes, I tolerate it, but I accept. And that's kind of, there's a non-resistance. I don't go against it. Acceptance implies a sense of inner peace. So the situation might be against my plan, but I completely accept it. I understand it's Krishna's plan. It's Krishna's desire. Because it's Krishna's desire, I fully surrender to it. And that's what we are meant to learn. And that's also what means to actually surrender. And we had this beautiful lecture by Keshav Maharaj. He spoke about, you remember about Krishna confidence? Remember that class? He made the point that we have to learn that Krishna has a plan, and we are meant to become his instrument. We are meant to become an instrument in Krishna's hand. And then that means we should just accept Krishna's plan. And in that mentality, if we understand that Krishna is in control, life will become very amazing. And that's basically what it means, to accept Krishna's plan means that I understand Krishna is in control, not myself. And that has a lot of advantages, because if I think that I'm in control, if I become successful, I become puffed up. If I have a failure, I become very depressed. And if there is great challenges, then I become very nervous, because I think I'm in control. But if I understand that Krishna is in control, if I'm successful, I'm simply grateful that Krishna helped me. If I fail, I know, okay, maybe Krishna wants me to do something else. So it's a completely different consciousness. And Maharaj gave the point that Braj, the bridge basis, what does Braj mean? One meaning of Braj is that they're always moving. They're moving according to the plan of Krishna. The bridge basis, they're always moving according to the plan of Krishna. And that's Vrindavan. Krishna is in the center, and all the bridge basis just moving around according to Krishna's plan. Everyone is there to give pleasure to Krishna. That's Vrindavan. So we should also learn to become bridge basis and then move with the plan of Krishna. Like Prabhupada, his prayer, I don't know why you brought me here. When he saw Boston, when he saw America for the first time, he thought, okay, my God. This place is horrible, full of Rajaguna and Tamaguna. How will these people ever understand the message of the Bhagavatam? What should I do here? Krishna, I just become your puppet. Just make me dance, make me dance. Whatever you want, make me dance. I'm your puppet. So, and in this mentality, then we can become actually an instrument in Krishna's hands. And then we may still have material desires, but we surrender to Krishna, and then we accept whatever Krishna is doing with us, whether he fulfills our desires or he doesn't fulfill, whether he fulfills the desire in such a way that we learn a lesson. But ultimately we know we should approach Krishna with only one desire, which is to develop this loving relationship to him. And whatever happens on the path, we try to go along with his desire. So that's what we can learn from this shlokas. Hare Krishna. Grantra Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. I don't know whether there's some comments or questions. Yes.
So it's very hard to serve to Krishna because we don't have this desire. But when we know that how beautiful Krishna is, and how beloved he is,
Какой классный.
and how cool he is.
Когда мы служим,
And when we serve him,
мы просто, нам ничего не надо.
and we don't need anything, we are just in love.
Так что очень важно
So it's very important
знать этого юного мальчика.
to know this young boy. Hare Krishna.
Jai, very nice comment. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Спасибо.
Spasibo, yes. It reminds me of, many times I have mentioned this, Adipurush in New York, a Prabhupada disciple, he always says, how wonderful is Krishna, let us serve him. How wonderful is this Krishna, let us serve him. And if you talk with him for half an hour, at least 3 times he will tell it. How wonderful is Krishna, let us serve him. And you know, when he tells, you can feel that he got some realizations. he really got some realization. Yeah. But yeah, it's a very good point of Prabhuji, because we need to hear about Krishna. That's why Shravanam is so important. We have to hear about Krishna, because the more we hear about Krishna, the more we understand his beauty, his wonderful qualities, and then we can fall in love with him. Otherwise, no. If we don't fall in love with him, then yes, that's the essence. Yeah. I also told many times that once I entered a room, there was a room of brahmacharis, and I entered, and Sachinanda Maharaj was there. I wanted to have darshan of Maharaj. Maharaj looked at me, Krishna Premarupa, when will you fall in love? And I was like, Maharaj. And then he said, with Krishna. I felt relief. When will you fall in love with Krishna? But that's a question we need to ask ourselves. When will I finally fall in love with Krishna? I mean, at some point this should happen, right? And rather sooner than later. Because if we are not falling in love with Krishna, yeah, then we have so many other desires. And life becomes complicated. That's why we need to hear about Krishna, so that we may fall in love with him. Yeah.
So we naturally has love inside. It's just covered. So by this association we need to clean it, to wash it, this katha inside. Because we are a spark of Krishna, so we just need to clean ourselves.
Yes, the love is already there. That's right. That it needs to be awakened. And also, it's because that love is already there. We also have a need for love. You know, we all have that need to love, to be loved. And then usually we try to fulfill that desire in a loving relationship between other human beings. You know, but it's never really fully satisfying. So because the relationship with Krishna is the only relationship that is eternal, unconditional, and what was it? Perfect. Yeah, it's like that's the only relationship that is perfect. It's with Krishna. So yeah, not so easy to attain. Maybe we should invite Prabhuji wants to give class, no?